up one of the most contaminated beaches in the Southland with falcons. Boris, how the predators are helping to keep seagulls away.
That's kind of cool. All right.
New at 6, 7 falcons and a hawk are taking up residency at a Southern California beach. They've been commissioned by the city to scare away the seagulls. Eyewitness News reporter Giovanna Lara explains why the job done by these birds of prey is so important to the health of the local environment.
You don't typically see falcons soaring over the coast in Southern California, but for the next month and a half, 7 falcons and a hawk will be part of the scenery at San Clemente's Poche Beach, and they'll be working. Their job? To keep seagulls and their droppings off the beach and away from the treated urban runoff flowing into the ocean that attracts the seagulls. You see Khaleesi here standing guard. She's actually a female Saker falcon from the Middle East. And as soon as the seagulls approach the beach, her trainer will put her up in the air. Just the presence of the predator in the air is enough to scare the seagulls away.
When the bird's flying, if it's flying fast, they realize the bird's serious and that it's hunting.
Adam Chavez and Sammy Holloway were hired by the city of San Clemente to sick their falcons on the seagulls and keep them 150 yards away from the shoreline. And so far, it seems to work.
Initially, when we came down to the beach, there was at least 500 gulls sitting there, and they were gone within a few minutes. And as long as there's a presence of falcons or hawks in the area, they're going to realize that, you know, it probably makes more sense to go somewhere else.
Mitch Colapinto, who's been running a surf camp at Poche for 16 years, says the $20,000 animal abatement program has made a big difference, and his campers love seeing the falcons in action.
We're super excited about the program that they have. The beach actually has never been cleaner with the filtration system, and now keeping the birds out here, it's fantastic.
Poche Beach is one of the most contaminated beaches in the Southland, regularly getting poor ratings from environmental watch groups for its high levels of bacteria. In 2010, city officials ordered a study of the bacteria and found most of the contaminants came from seagull droppings, thus the falcons and hawks. Now they're waiting to see whether the birds of prey will keep the seagulls away for good.
They come back. As soon as he leaves, they'll come back. So that's why we really want to hit them hard first with 10 hours a day, every day, so that they get used to the idea that these guys aren't going anywhere. We want them to find somewhere else to go.
In San Clemente, Giovanna Lara, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Giovanna looks pretty comfortable with that big.
Yeah.
Wow.
How neat.
Pretty impressive. Thank you for joining us for Eyewitness News at 6.
San Clemente is using falcons to shoo seagulls off the beach.
As Artie Nehru reports, the goal is to improve water quality at one of the most polluted beaches in Southern California.
These flying falcons are marking their territory at Poche Beach in San Clemente. Their message to nearby seagulls is simple: stay away.
We fly them to a lure, and when the bird's basically chasing the lure, it looks like it's got deadly intent, and that's making the difference. When the seagull sees a falcon flying like it's chasing something, they instinctively know, they're hardwired more or less, that they need to get out of the area.
The city commissioned master falconer Adam Chavez to keep seagulls away from the area. He's been releasing these birds of prey since the beginning of August.
Every bird here has a specific purpose based on either the size of the bird or the type of bird. So, for example, this is a Barbary female. The larger falcons, the big females, are the ones that really put the terror into the seagulls when they fly because of their size. There are some birds that we know are like the showstoppers that are really proficient.
Chavez's company usually has 9 to 12 birds on the beach. They fly one bird at a time, with each bird flying twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. Hawks are also used.
The hawks would chase them straight away, but I don't want to catch any of the gulls. I'm not trying to do that. Basically, we're just trying to use their presence. Having a predator around is usually enough to scare them away.
The city is trying to scare the seagulls away to help improve the water quality at Poche Beach. Environmental analyst Mary Vondrak says gull droppings have been polluting the water here for a long time.
We've had consistently high bacteria readings at Poche Beach for several years. We've been on the beach bummer list that comes out every year from Hilda Bay several years in a row.
It's not uncommon for high bacteria warnings to be posted on the beach almost daily. A cause of concern because the small beach, which borders Dana Point, does attract a lot of visitors.
The Homeowners Association has a beach club right here on the beach. There's a gentleman who has a surf club every year who teaches kids how to surf. He's been running that for the last 16 years. We have people that live right here.
The seagulls are drawn to Poche Beach because of the freshwater pond here and a nearby landfill that provides them food.
The main thing that attracts them here is that we have fresh water source. They're thirsty, they want to come down here and drink, and then they can hang out in the water.
The city employed a pilot program at the end of last summer where falcons were perched at the beach but not flown. But with the birds taking to the sky this summer, the seagulls got the message.
We're trying to basically keep all the seagulls off the beach and then about at least 150 yards out. And as you can see, there's nothing out there right now, and it's definitely working.
The Falcon program costs about $20,000 for 2 months. Vondrak says the funding comes from local property owners who pay a monthly fee to address water quality issues.
When we started August 9th, there were basically about 500 gulls on the beach on a daily basis. And now, as you can see, there's 0 gulls here.
Chavez says they're trying to break the habits of the seagulls, but that process can take a while.
Will the gulls come back at some point in time? Yeah, I'm sure they will. But what we're trying to do is get them to come back in lesser numbers and find somewhere else to go.
The Falcon program will run until September 30th. It'll be weeks before we know if this method is a short-term solution or a long-term solution, but if need be, the falcons might be back. In San Clemente, Arthi Nehru, Real Orange.
Well, you've heard of fighting fire with fire, right? Well, now in San Clemente, they're using birds to fight birds. The seaside city's Poche Beach area gets filthy dirty from the waste of hundreds of seagulls that feed at a nearby waste dump. The gulls' waste also pollutes a nearby flood control pond. So the city is hiring 2 falconers, along with a dozen trained falcons the men own, to harass and chase away the gulls. The project appears to be working.
They actually left almost the moment that we got here. That they see a falcon flying around the area, they just want to stay away.
I just think it's a great idea. You can see when every time he walks out there, he takes his falcon, and there's no birds flying around here.
The city is spending about $20,000 on the falconer project, which lasts through the summer. Pretty birds.
Yeah.